Hi everyone, Grey Planner 60 here. So I have some pages. I didn't want to tea dye them. These are quite robust. I didn't want to tea dye them, and I wanted to, definitely not that paper, it's too fragile. And of course I've got these other things here. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Went to get my drink and I had my beeper going on my stove. I'm trying to dry some fruit in the oven to use for a painting session my grandson and I are going to have. So these paints, these are Craft Smart pigmented paint. They've been contaminated because I've been using them like crazy. But I don't care because they're almost dry and they don't really ink well when it comes to, you know, if I want to stamp anything, they don't seem to. And I didn't want to throw them out, and I thought, you know, I shouldn't have taken that off. I'm just refilling my bottle while we're here. I always keep this larger bottle here for times when I need to either, oops, and I'm spilling it all over. When I have to moisten my baby wipes when they get dry, you know, things like that. So I've got these envelopes, I've got these papers, and I've got these papers. I've already done quite a few. I was following Carrie the Crafter because I enjoy his videos. So what we're going to do is, instead of using coffee dye, I'm going to be using these inks. And this is a miniature, what do we call it? Photo, vintage photo. It's a miniature. I have an older one and I also have a brand new one. So I use this one when I want to kind of just create stuff, and I'm looking for some yellow, and I don't know if I'm going to get any out of this. No, chances are not. I've got so much brown on it now. Let's see if we can get a bit of this green in here. And again, sometimes I have to moisten to get the green to come through. And I just want to make it look a little bit antique. I'm glad I got this glass mat. So basically what I'm doing, after I spritz it to make sure that it's nice and wet, I'm just putting my paper down and trying to get some different, you know, different prints on here, different inks on here to make it look a little bit. And then I actually have these dry fast. That's why I have to keep spritzing. I have a shower curtain I bought at the dollar store. I actually bought quite a few of them because once a month I like to change my inside of my shower curtain. So there's not going to be much color on this. Maybe every couple of months. So I always keep a supply of one or two in the cupboard. And I thought today I'm going to use one of them, put it on the floor, and lay these pages out. So I also have this. This is a Versacolor, and it's called Cocoa. It also has been contaminated with all kinds of things because I've been using it like this. And so what I try and do, even though it doesn't, what I try and do is see if I can get some, lots of color on there, and then add a color in there that is not usual. Like I'll add green or I'll add this pink. And once I mush it around, and of course they're contaminated, but I'm never going to use them for anything other than playing like I'm doing right now. I have to wet this one again. There. And I never know what I'm going to get when I, you know, when I start putting the paper down. I never know what I'm going to get until I lift it up. And sometimes it's pretty awful, and sometimes it's not too bad. There we go. I'm going to leave that one. And because this one, as you can see, is pretty much had it. I'm going to have to glue it back down when it's dry. You probably think I'm all crazy, but when you don't have the inks that you want, you do your best to mix. Try and get some aging in it. I always try and get a little bit of the green because I find that the green is going to have to be wet because it dries very quickly, you know, especially under my lights. So I try and get as much on here as I can. There we go. And you get so many different colors, this one's quite moist, so let's see what we can get out of this one. I really like, with the brown and the green together, it kind of gives it that a really old look to it. I know that a lot of people think that, you know, paper just turns yellow, but sometimes, depending on the pigment of the ink that they've used, it sometimes goes a little bit of a yellowy green. So I do my best to pick up as much of that as I can in there. Okay, let's go back to our green. It's actually turquoise, but with the yellow in it. And then here's my yellow, which has brown in it now. Okay, spritzer again. Use a lot of water on this because it takes a while to do all that you want to do with it. And you know, it may not be your thing, but sometimes I just find this is a little more fun than tea dyeing. I may even want to, you know, why not? Why not? I've got one over here. Let's see if we can mess it up a little bit here. Why not? Okay, here's another one over here. I mean, this may seem silly to you, but I kind of like this whole idea. All right, these are almost dry, even though they've just been done. I'm going to go put them on the floor, and I'll be right back. Okay, so those are those papers. I'm hoping to get some streaking on here. I'm just going to do my best, see if I can get it. I know it looks better if we streak it, but this is actually just picking it up and wiping it off, and I don't want that. And maybe I'll just add a little bit of the brown in here. On this one, add the water. Now here are those cheap envelopes that I have, and I thought it's going to really soak up the pattern. It's really going to soak it up. But at least it's not white, right? And that's what my aim is. Let's add a little bit more in here. And get some more of this. I like the green, the yellow, and the brown. Moisten this again. And I think I'll just add a little bit of our, and let's see what we get here. There we go. Wow, this one's really, you never know what you're going to get, which is really cool. And let's see if we can pick up some of that green. And again, these envelopes are just going to be used for some fun art stuff, some fun who knows what. Decorate it later. Let's see if I can get some yellow on here. And then just sprinkle it on. Excuse me. You have to be careful with this one because these envelopes are very fragile. Is that a good word? They're they're paper thin, so therefore they're they can rip easily if you pull on them. So let's try this one. And as you can see, it takes it up. Ooh, I love that. I'm loving that. Absolutely loving that pattern. Wow. Yeah, I'm loving this effect here. So we've got these 4 different effects. Kind of cool, kind of cool. I don't know if I can pick up any more. It's getting dry. Of course, I could moisten it. Let's see if that's going to pick up a little bit up there. I mean, these are soaking wet. But this is a lot of fun, you know? And, you know, you can always come on here and just add, you know, these are contaminated anyway. It doesn't matter. This one has a bit of the green in it. Maybe you might want some green on here to add, just to add some character. Why not? Why the heck not? And it's just a hint of green. There's not much coming off of there, but just enough to give it a little bit of character. So these are going to be going over and getting dry. I just stepped on one of these pages that I did, and it left a footprint. I'm curious to see if it's going to stay a footprint. So like I said, these inks that I have in these containers, these are just, they're, like I say, they're already contaminated. I've already, I haven't tried the purple and the green yet. And I just keep them for doing things like this. Let me see if I have something else. I could always try some regular paper. Let me just kind of spritz this a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit contaminated, but I did spray them when I first took them out. There's a lot of pink in here. And I don't know if that one, yeah. It's not as, it's not as dark as I had hoped. So we're gonna leave that one and add some of the brown. And again, it'll all be contaminated because I'm just mixing all the colors, but that's what they're used for, right? They're not here for using on my good work. It's just for playing. Sometimes you have to have some supplies that are just for playing. Let's try this dark paper, or thick. I think it's some kind of craft paper. They've been doing an awful lot of noise upstairs. I don't know if he's got a drum set, the young fella. Well, he's getting older. I don't know if he has a drum set or if he's just jumping around. It can be quite annoying. Okay, let's add a little green. A little green to the picture. I don't know if you can hear that bouncing around. It's not absorbing it as much as I had hoped. Yeah, and it's not adding much color to it. But that's okay. It'll be just an extra page that I'm going to have that I'll be able to use in some of my work. Here we go. Yeah, so that's not working well. Let's try. I was going to use some of these oxide, but I didn't want to contaminate these. Let me see if I can grab. I don't mind putting it down. Ooh, look at that green. I love that green. So we'll put it down, and then I can add this green to it. Kind of mix it around. Okay, let's give it a try with some of this paper. Okay, I forgot to spritz it. Got to keep it wet. Got to keep it wet. Oh, I'm liking the green. I'm really liking the green. Really liking it. Let me get another page. Spritz a little bit more before it completely, yeah, before it completely dries. Oh, I'm really liking this green. I'm gonna have to wash my hands shortly because it's oh, I'm liking this. I'm liking the green on this. Yep. Yep. I'm liking the green on this. It'll be nice to see what it looks like when it's dry. All right, that's all I'm going to do for today. I just wanted to show you how you could color your paper with, you know, if you have old inks, don't throw them out. You can reuse them in these kind of scenarios. And let me get a wet one. Sometimes my wet ones get a little dry, and I just spritz them, or I'll add a little water into the packaging, and yeah. I'm so glad I bought this mat because I can use it for so many different things. And just wipe it off. The only thing, I mean, after a lot of time and using it to cut, yeah, I get a few nicks here and there, or you get glue on it that is being hard to come off. But I got a lot of scratches on here, but this is one of the things, one of my craft supply things that was a bonus was this glass mat. Not only does it have the grid, but it's also a surface that I can put things on, use paint, textures, different things on here, and create with it. And you know what? It turns out really to be a blessing. I don't know what I would have done without it. All right, some of these are not quite dry. I mean, almost dry. But here we go with the page here. These were the earlier ones when I was just messing around. This is lined 3-ring paper that I played around with. And then this one had the yellow and the green on it. So these are gonna be good in my stash for, you can use it for collaging, for using it for backgrounds. I think I might do something else with them once they're all done. I might do some painting on them. I'm not sure. I was watching Carrie the Crafter, and he was doing something like that. But yeah, so if you have, I mean, I happen to have bought this years ago. I bought this set of inks and didn't use them because I actually was new to crafting and paper crafting, and I really didn't know how to use these. And so they were stuck in the back of my paint drawer. I call it a paint drawer because it's where I keep all my paints. But I've also got these miniatures. I used to be able to get these at Michael's. I don't know if they still do. Yeah, you can still get them at Michael's, I'm sure. Maybe not, I don't know. But I use them for the same as this. I've got reds. I think I have a lot of red for some reason. Red and pink. And this one is, I don't know if it tells the color on these things. Just made in China. Studio G. Yeah, what color are you supposed to be? Pigment ink in 3 languages and acid free. So I guess you just see the color and that's what you get. This is a gold one. Yeah, I've had these in here for years. And they're just in the back of the drawer waiting for a day when I might be using them. Yeah. And these ones sit in the back as well, so that when I'm ready to use them, I can just pull them out and play. And that's the whole idea behind this whole inking business that I'm doing. Sorry, they're falling apart as I put them in my drawer. Okay, that's it for me for today. I hope you give it a try. If you have some kind of surface, even a plate, you know, and then you can just dab your paper on. If you have any of these inks, these oxides, the distress inks, or even if you just have old inks that you're ready to throw out, don't throw them out. Use them to color your paper. And look at the green. I mean, I just love this green look on there. Yeah. So that's it for me for today. I hope you had fun with me. For a change, I had fun. And now I got to go pick up my son. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.